Hello and welcome to Nadia's Bottle Imaginings. Today I've got a fabulous, wonderful commission that I'm working on and I'm going to take you along for the ride.
Follow me down this beautiful little garden path, round the corner, past the pond where the fountain is trickling, up to the fence where we go out into this enclosure where sits my commission project. This is a real old Gypsy Caravan which I am going to be painting. At the moment it is mounted on logs. The wheels will be appearing at some point shortly. This is being built from the ground up, basically renovated and built out the interior. I need to paint this little piece of wood that's been got for the inside, and I need to paint all the side panels as well as the back, the other side, and of course the inside interior decoration. And everything is surrounded by this beautiful, tranquil countryside where birds are singing and water is playing and sun is shining. I have been provided with some paint and I have several panels as well as the beams overhead which need painted. In here it is just so beautiful with the sun coming in these windows. I'm going to be doing decoration around the windows as well as down on the panels under the bed and this carpet, and all the decorations and artwork in here are just so lovely. To start with, what I have to add is going to be amazing as well. Aren't the rainbows just beautiful? And these are mirrors over the doorway in the shape of wings, which are so beautiful.
Hello, this is very exciting. I'm painting a lovely, proper little caravan. I am going to start with this black wall here just because it's a small enough area, and I'm basically just doing some swirl designs on this. I've got a tablet here, just copy the design and put it straight up here. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to start sketching with my Posca pen and see where we go from there. Okay. Oh, right, that's better. I wasn't sure I could sit up on here. Now I've got a bit of space. Didn't expect this to be quite so awkward. Right. Where do I start? I've got a swirl. It's quite a big swirl at the top, so maybe I'm going to have to start with this side here. I think I'm going to take the neck curtains down. The only way to start is to start. I should take my shoes off. Oh, one curl. This is very uncomfortable. Two curls. Oh, here's a big mosquito. Go away. And 3 curls. That's the time lapse, huh?
I drew out about half of the design before I realised that I needed some guidelines to make it actually fit into the strangely curved space that I got here.
Right, don't forget to delete your art. Start again.
Once I had my guidelines in place, I was going on a lot more smoothly, just applying the pen and rubbing off where I needed to erase with a wet wipe. I thought changing the camera angle would help you be able to see it better, but the light just kept on flickering and there wasn't really very much I could do about this because I was sitting right in front of the window. The central pattern was some flowers with some little star-shaped petals, and I did them next.
Smells a bit better now. I've got something soft to sit on, and I've got the net curtains down so I can see what I'm doing here. The paint pen is getting more juicy, and it's all coming together.
Like me, I think the paint pen just needed a little bit of warming up, and once it got going, things were going much more smoothly, and I started to get the design on the wall pretty quick after that.
There's ribbon. I also have some liquid gold, which is going for these. Tea first.
After a very nice cup of tea, I broke out the paintbrushes and started actually painting the design that I'd drawn on the wall.
This oil-based paint is stinking to high heaven in this small environment. Also, it doesn't even look very good on here. It's patchy. I'm going to need at least 2 coats. And I got myself some gold acrylic. So I'm going to try this on this other side and see if it looks any better. And if it does, then I might just have to dispense with this and maybe just add it for the final coat on top to give it a shimmer, because that's what it says it does. So, see how that goes.
I tried the gold acrylic and it wasn't really looking all that amazing either. Honestly, the gold paint was just messing with me and I don't know whether it was looking good no matter what I did at this point. So after a bit of that, I decided to go on to the flowers and just paint them with the paint pen and see if I felt a bit better about it there.
Right, so I haven't totally finished the other side, but I'm on the other side now. And if I don't go doing this now, so the lightning stops whooping and swooping. If I don't do this now, then I'm not going to come back and do it, because basically I have to just do exactly the same pattern over here. So I'll do that.
I was thinking it was going to be more difficult doing exactly the same design. Actually, it was an awful lot easier, and I'm glad that I did it before I'd actually finished the first design, because it was fresh in my mind and I got done so much more quickly with it. And I decided to go with the shimmer gold paint that was provided, because actually it was probably looking the best. On the 2 panels under the bed, I was painting a rose and a lily for the 2 little girls whose caravan this is going to be once I'm finished it. Here, if you can't quite see, I'm drawing a lily. The sounds of the pen on the wood panel were very satisfying, so I left this piece in. Just thought you might appreciate that.
Oh, this is going to be a lot more tricky. I think it's right in this corner.
Now I am drawing the rose, and you might hear me complain a little bit about how confined this space was. It might not be obvious in these videos, but this was a child-sized caravan, and I was wearing a rather large fleece because this was still filmed in April and it was still rather chilly, and I was rather squished into some of these areas, but I managed to film it nevertheless. Again, apologies about the lighting, it was not ideal, but once I got on to painting these flowers, they came together so quickly and easily, it was just so much fun. This is a blue lily. I was looking at some pictures of these and they are really striking, and so that's what I wanted to do for this. For all these paintings, I was trying to paint over the top of the lines I'd drawn so that they were not obvious after I'd finished. I started to add some shadow portions to this, and I wasn't quite convinced it was working, so I just went back and added some of the details. When I started adding the white, everything really started to come together with the lily. Again, excuse my arm. Of course, adding highlights is the most satisfying part. I was constantly listening to music whilst doing this, so if you hear me humming away casually, that was just how I managed to zone out in this. But honestly, just the peace and tranquility of the location with the birds in the background and the water was so soothing and relaxing. I didn't listen to music for large parts of this painting process.
I mean, it's kind of coming together. It kind of came together really fast, Basil. I love it.
Working on the rose was a little bit more difficult. Again, the lighting, there was a shine on it, so it's not maybe that obvious, but I just started painting the petals quite happily, and then realised I was going to block it all in, and then realised, oh dear, what have I done? I've ruined and lost all my sketch lines, so I had to go back and redefine that, and it did take me a little bit longer doing the rose. I had these little petals flying off, and I had a couple of little leaves down at the base as well of this one, just to kind of tie the whole design together.
I've totally lost the pattern. Why did I do that? Oh, roses are much harder. Why did I think this would be easy?
Once I got the definition back on the rose design, then I went in with the leaves and I added some little spiky parts to the leaves to make them look more defined. Suddenly the rain started, and in fact it wasn't rain but hailstones, and I was quite shocked, but it was so lovely inside the caravan hearing the sound of the rain. I had done quite a lot more work on the caravan by this point, the swirls over the bed, and I was just, I think, day 2 at this point, and ready to start on this big panel. You could hear the hail, but you couldn't see it very well, so I was trying to focus in on it. But then, just as I was filming this, I had a visit from a very lovely little visitor who didn't stay, but it was a beautiful moment to capture. My energy drink keeps me going as I continue with this huge swirly horseshoe pattern. I get on a lot faster when I'm not filming, so I don't necessarily film every single portion of this project. I've done some more detail to the panels above the bed and a little bit of a green background shadow to the design over the bed. I was so glad I was inside when that hill came down.
Okay, now I've got these side panels, this one and this one. I need something to go under here, and I need to touch up these bits around the windows. Hopefully the lighting in this will look a bit better. Oh, I've also done this lovely piece of wood. I just painted it, shoot up the wood, and that's going up here. Should look nice. Right, so I'm just going to draw out the design I've got here on my tablet. Flowers under the window.
This time I tried to stay out of the way of the window so that I wouldn't make the flickering happen again. Unfortunately, it didn't really work, and I realised it just wasn't going to work. So try and appreciate what I managed to capture here. I know that as I progress, my filming gets better, but it's a learning process, especially being in this environment that was very different and unique for me. This design I painted very quickly and very roughly, and actually didn't end up finishing it at all because the bedding, when it was added, just covered it up completely. So that was a good thing and a bad thing. It's there. It's you can see it if you look.
delicious. Right.
It was so relaxing painting these beautiful green leaves. Whilst I was painting this design, I remember it was quite damp outside and I was listening to a tune that was so relaxing and dreamy, and I was drifting away into this other place. It was a song about Valentina, the first woman in space, and it was just the most drifting, dreaming tune, and I felt like I was all alone in this sort of spaceship-like place on a totally other world, and it was just the most amazing experience.
So I've got this lovely set of paints that are just little tiny wee pots here, and I'm gonna have to overpaint the background of the window before I can do the swirls, so I'm just gonna do that, I think, and then do the swirls with the green.
I just ended up overpainting the whole background of the window with these lovely paints. They're so creamy and pastel, and they were provided by the person who commissioned this, so they're lovely, lovely paints. I must ask her where she got them.
Yeah, tissues everywhere and not a piece that's clean.
I make far too much mess when I'm painting. You should see the floors. They're just littered with tissues and things. I did the side details with the gold, and I finished all the bits around the windows, and they're looking so much nicer in the green. And I've done the side over here with the horseshoes, finished all that up. It's looking really nice. However, I still have got the panel in the corner to do, and the two panels on the other side, which you can't see where I'm standing. And so I've got so much more work still to do, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave that for another video, where I will also be showing you how I do the swirl designs, and I will be painting all the way up and around the arch of the caravan and showing you how I painted those. Stay tuned for that, and thank you very much for watching. Bye!